Could the most unthinkable trade in NBA history actually become reality? Or are Lakers fans about to experience the most crushing disappointment since the Chris Paul veto when they realize that landing Nikola Jokic might be nothing more than an impossible dream? The basketball world is buzzing with speculation that has Lakers Nation simultaneously salivating and sweating with anxiety. Fresh off their shocking acquisition of Luka Jokic, whispers around the league suggest that Los Angeles might be setting their sights on an even more audacious target: three-time MVP Nikola Jokic. The mere thought of pairing these two generational talents in purple and gold has sent shockwaves through the NBA landscape. But is this wishful thinking or legitimate possibility that could reshape the entire league? Let's cut straight to the heart of this matter with some brutal honesty from someone who knows the Lakers organization inside and out. Dan Woik from The Athletic didn't mince words when asked about the realistic chances of landing either Jokic or Giannis Antetokounmpo, delivering a reality check that might deflate some of the euphoria surrounding these mega trade fantasies. If I think either is realistic as a trade target? No, not really. Woik stated bluntly, immediately crushing the hopes of countless Lakers fans who've been dreaming of adding another superstar to their already loaded roster. His assessment cuts deeper than just casual pessimism. It reflects the harsh realities of NBA trade dynamics and the astronomical cost of acquiring players of this caliber. The economic reality of pursuing Jokic presents challenges that would make even the most ambitious front office executives pause. We're talking about a player who just declined a contract extension this offseason, keeping his options open while maintaining 2 years plus a player option remaining on his current deal. The Serbian superstar isn't exactly painting himself into a corner, but he's also not closing any doors to potential future moves. What makes the Jokic scenario particularly intriguing is his well-documented friendship with Luka Jokic. These aren't just casual acquaintances who exchange pleasantries at All-Star games. They share a genuine bond that transcends basketball, rooted in their shared European heritage and mutual respect for each other's games. The possibility of these two basketball artists creating magic together on the same team represents a type of basketball purist dream that could produce some of the most beautiful offensive basketball we've ever witnessed. From a purely basketball perspective, the fit between Jokic and Jokic would be absolutely transcendent. Imagine the passing displays, the basketball IQ on full display, and the way they could elevate each other's games to heights we haven't seen since the greatest duos in NBA history. Jokic's ability to operate from the high post and facilitate for teammates would complement Donic's perimeter wizardry perfectly, creating mismatches and opportunities that opposing teams would find nearly impossible to defend. But here's where reality crashes into fantasy with devastating force. The Denver Nuggets aren't some struggling franchise desperate to rebuild around draft picks and salary cap relief. They're a team that's made significant moves this offseason to improve their roster around their franchise cornerstone, demonstrating their commitment to keeping Jokic happy and competitive. The addition of players like Cam Johnson and Jonas Valanciunas, along with the signings of Tim Hardaway Jr. and Bruce Brown, shows a front office that's actively trying to maximize their championship window. The trade package required to pry Jokic away from Denver would be absolutely astronomical, likely requiring the Lakers to gut their entire future in terms of draft capital and young talent. We're talking about a scenario where Los Angeles would need to offer everything they have, and probably more than they can realistically put together, especially considering how limited their trade assets have become after years of aggressive moves. Woik's assessment becomes even more sobering when he explains the market dynamics that would need to align for such a trade to happen. The market would need to be completely depressed by a player saying he would simply go to the Lakers in free agency, so 28 other teams shouldn't even consider a bid. And even then the Lakers' offer would be small, he explained, highlighting just how many stars would need to align for this pipe dream to become reality. The comparison to Giannis Antetokounmpo adds another layer of context to this discussion. While the Greek Freak might represent a more realistic target, given Milwaukee's apparent struggles and organizational instability, even that scenario seems fraught with complications. The Bucks' supporting cast around Antetokounmpo looks increasingly inadequate, with Miles Turner as their second-best player and question marks throughout their perimeter rotation. If Milwaukee starts the season poorly, we could see Antetokounmpo becoming available, but the competition for his services would be fierce. Every contending team in the league will be lining up with their best offers, And the Lakers would need to outbid franchises with deeper asset pools and more attractive long-term situations. The Nuggets situation deserves careful analysis because it reveals why Jokic trades remain so unlikely. Denver's front office has shown they're willing to make tough decisions and creative moves to keep their championship window open. Trading away contracts like Michael Porter Jr. and Dario Saric to bring in more suitable complementary pieces demonstrates organizational competence and commitment to winning. However, there's always that underlying tension that exists when a superstar of Jokic's caliber hasn't signed a long-term extension. His decision to decline the extension offer this offseason sends a clear message. He's keeping his options open and evaluating how the organization continues to build around him. If Denver fails to maintain competitive rosters or struggles to advance deep into the playoffs, that calculus could shift dramatically. The friendship factor between Jokic and Doncic cannot be dismissed entirely, even if it seems like a long shot right now. Player relationships and preferences carry significant weight in today's NBA, and we've seen numerous examples of stars orchestrating moves to play alongside their preferred teammates. The question becomes whether that relationship is strong enough to overcome all the practical and financial obstacles that stand in the way. Looking at the Lakers' new ownership situation adds another dimension to these discussions. With new financial backing and a demonstrated willingness to spend aggressively on talent acquisition and roster construction, Los Angeles theoretically has the resources to make any deal work from a salary perspective. The challenge lies in assembling the assets that would make Denver even consider such a transaction. The harsh reality is that championship windows in professional sports are notoriously brief and unpredictable. For the Lakers, maximizing their current core, while it's at its peak, represents the most logical path forward. Chasing unrealistic trade targets might prevent them from making more practical moves that could actually improve their championship odds in the near term. What this all boils down to is a fundamental question about ambition versus realism in NBA team building. Should the Lakers continue pursuing these moonshot trades for generational talents, or should they focus on more achievable moves that could still significantly improve their roster? The answer might determine whether this current championship window produces the results that Lakers fans are desperately hoping for. Are you ready to accept that some dreams are just too big to become reality? Or do you believe the Lakers should keep swinging for the fences regardless of the odds? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's debate whether pursuing impossible trades is genius-level ambition or dangerous delusion that could cost this team their actual championship opportunities.